So speaking of teams and moves they made, and we've kind of reached the, I guess you can say the simmering point in free agency. A lot of big names have found a destination. So let's start with the NFC and break down what we feel like teams' biggest needs are going into the draft.
Okay.
So I guess what we feel like individually, each team has their biggest need in going to the draft, and what should they absolutely positively go after if it's available to them.
Okay.
So Coach Craig and I both have gone through and picked out our particular positions, and maybe we'll drop a name or gem here or there that they might go after based upon where they're picking. But we're starting with the NFC East. So we got, of course, the Eagles, the Giants, the Commanders, and the Cowboys. So based upon the moves they made, we've seen Saquon Barkley, talk about Kenny Pickett a few minutes ago. Let's not speed past the idea of what Pittsburgh has done. Pittsburgh and the Eagles have done in free agency.
Yeah,
they've cleaned up, especially the Eagles. Even the Eagles more so than Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
the state of Pennsylvania is cleaned up free agency, right? So when you look at their roster, right? I think we share different views on what they should go after. Now, mind you, I'm looking at this from an early round perspective.
Yep.
So I believe they should take a cornerback in the draft.
Okay.
You believe they should take a linebacker. And the only thing I push back on that particular space is that most likely most linebackers don't get picked high in the draft.
Right.
And again, the only person that's been of that ilk in the recent memory is Jack Campbell. And there's no Jack Campbells in this draft.
Right.
So I do believe they need linebackers, but I do think they can maybe address that in free agency more so than the draft. But I definitely believe they do have a need for linebackers. So they could do that maybe second round if they were inclined to fill that position with a rookie. But I definitely believe from what their secondary looked last year, it's definitely in need of young, fresh mind and body when it comes down to the quarterback position for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely can see the need for having a linebacker in the middle of that defense, because both, actually, I would argue that the back end of their defense, it was just bad altogether. Like,
right,
the secondary was bad, the linebacker play was bad. They even got Shaq Leonard in the middle of the season. That still didn't help any.
Not at all.
But I think they were just too far gone anyway at that moment. In regards to be able to salvage anything. But I do believe that either position was definitely a position of need. So it is questionable whether or not they're going to go after first. But for a premium position, first round pick, I think it would be cornerback for my money.
Okay.
All right. So the Giants, we could argue both of these, but what do you think for both of our choices? What do you think is more important? I pick quarterback, you pick running back. What's more important for the Giants?
Well, if you look at it, it would be quarterback.
Yeah.
But I picked that because they have a quarterback there, even though he's not the quarterback that they wanted, possibly. Being that they had a quarterback there and they lost the true key to their offense in Saquon.
Yeah.
And there's no Saquon in the draft.
There you go.
But that's why I said running back. But yeah, when you look at it traditionally, quarterback is the more integral piece.
So let me ask this question: do you believe that they will pick a quarterback with this 6th overall pick?
Yes, because they feel like buyer's remorse with Daniel Jones now.
Do you realize that that's the exact spot they picked Daniel Jones at 6 years ago?
The Ides of March.
Oh man, it'd be so ironic that they will basically draft in the same position that they drafted Daniel Jones in with his succession, with his replacement. That'd be funny. Now, I guess that all depends on what they do at the top end of the draft, because if 3 quarterbacks go early and maybe 4 if the Vikings trade up, who's going to be left? Because talking, I don't want to spoil it because we'll get to the quarterbacks in a minute, but I think you can talk about 4 quarterbacks going off in the first 4 picks, and then you already getting the 5th best quarterback at 6. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. All right, the Commanders I think we both agree that it's quarterback. And Sue, they're getting a quarterback. It's a question of, let me ask you this question. If they were going to pick a quarterback right now, who you think you pick, Drake May or Jaden Daniels?
If you give me those 2, they better go Jaden.
I agree. I think they pick Jaden personally.
Yep.
And let Drake May go to the Pats. I agree with that. All right, so we both agree the Cowboys need the O-line because they got this mess over there. They lost Tyron Smith and a couple other guys. So their O-line is in flux. I definitely believe they need to tackle. If nothing else, need a tackle. And they can move Tyler Smith back in the guard where he belongs, and be okay. But yeah, I definitely think they should go after a tackle in the draft. All right, so moving on to the NFC North. We're pretty much in agreement outside of the Bears.
The Bears,
yeah. Well, because I guess you could argue that that's a need for both picks. They got 1 and 9. But starting with the Packers, they both think they need O-line. They let Bakhtiari go, and I think another guy left in free agency. So they definitely need O-line, definitely need a left tackle. So I definitely believe they should do that. We're both in agreement there. Both agreeing the Vikings need a quarterback.
Yep.
Sam Darnold is not it.
Nope.
And I would argue this, and tell me if you feel the same way, that Justin Jefferson, the key to keeping Justin Jefferson is drafting the right quarterback.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just checking. Just checking. So I believe the Bears need a quarterback at 1. Now, 9, they could pick a quarterback or safety, but I would argue they need an edge rusher too. At 9, not at 1, but at 9.
So are you saying they need an edge rusher to go opposite Montez Sweat?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because they got the linebackers last year in free agency. They got Sweat. They got the interior D lineman. I think they can use the edge rusher because they also got their safeties in the free agency as well. But I do believe that they can use another corner because they have Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson though. They got 2 good ones. They would having a third is almost embarrassment of riches, but it could work. It could work. But yeah, if I had to think about it like this, we talked about this guy, Jared Verse, Chop Robinson,
yes,
just Dallas Turner. Imagine them 2 lined up with on opposite of Sweat. Any of those lined up against opposite Sweat, that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
If Jared is there, pick him immediately at 9.
That's a good point, and he just might be there because think about it like this: all the receivers and the quarterbacks gonna go early, and they pick at 9. So like they had their pick of the litter.
Yeah.
Yep. We both believe the Lions need another quarterback. They did pretty well in the free agency, but I think they could do even more so to bolster that secondary by drafting another corner in the draft. So I think we're both in agreement there.
Yep.
All right, moving on to the South. All right, so we looking at the Buccaneers. And I think it could go either way. But I think if you had to ask this question, what's more important to the success of their defense, a linebacker or edge rusher for the Buccaneers? For me,
it's linebacker.
I think it's edge rusher. Because they lost Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett's no longer there.
Well, they lost Devin. Is it Devin White?
Devin White. Yeah. They still got Devontae David. So I would argue that they need to replace Shaq Barrett with an edge rusher. For me. But I could definitely see them having, again, linebackers don't really get drafted that high, but they definitely have the need for a linebacker as well to fill in with filling Devin White's spot. That's a big loss.
Yeah.
And guess what he is?
I don't even want to know.
Philly.
That's why I said I don't want to know, even though I knew I didn't want to say it because gosh damn, it's like every week the Philadelphia signs somebody and we're like, are they on a different salary cap than everybody else? They are on a different pay
scale than everybody else. You're right. You're absolutely right. They are. Damn right.
Damn, every time we look up, it's he's going to Philly. He's going to Philly. It's like, gosh damn.
So that also cures for me. That cures the need of a linebacker right away. Going back to our argument about what they need in the first round.
Yeah,
they got Devin White in the middle.
Yeah, but he needs he
needs help. He needs help.
Yeah,
he needs help. I agree.
But it would help. Yeah.
So now I'm curious to hear you take about the Saints and need a wide receiver because you said that because they lost Michael Thomas.
Yep, and you basically only. I mean, I know Rashid Shaheed made big plays, but you think about it. Outside of Olave, who else is consistent right now?
You know what? And you just changed my mind because I did my pick when they didn't sign Chase. Chase just got signed.
Yeah.
Now they got Chase and Jordan, so they don't need an edge.
I was about to say that.
I'm with you. I'm changing my pick to wide receiver. You're absolutely right. I'm right with you on that. They definitely need a wide receiver. I'm agree with you there. A wide receiver, or if they can land Brock Bowers. If they land Brock Bowers, and that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that's
a stud.
It is a little bit,
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely changed my pick because again, I did my take before Chase Young got signed. So, but yeah, until then, I feel like they needed the edge to go along with Cam Jordan because Cameron couldn't get along in the tooth.
Yeah,
but yeah, I definitely believe that somebody opposite Olave now is definitely needed there.
Yep.
Panthers, I think losing Brian Burns, they need an edge. You think they need O-line, but I think they need a lot of things. So I think we're both right.
Yeah. Two things can be true in this situation.
Yeah, I think they need a lot. So I believe
Yeah.
that them having the edge or O-lineman in the first round was definitely something they need. But again, they don't even have a first round pick because they went to the Bears. So they got to pick in the second round starting. But they need a lot of things. They need a lot of things. But yeah, replacing Brian Burns or replacing somebody on that O-line that can help protect Bryce is number one.
Yeah. Everybody needs to wear a shirt, protect Bryce.
There it is. There it is. All right, so cornerback, we both agree the Falcons need another cornerback. I think that'll help that secondary and that defense and go a long way to building that up with Raheem Morris. So I think we both in agreement of that.
Yep.
All right, so moving on to the West, we share different opinions on the 49ers. I think they need a tackle. You think they need D lineman? They did pick up a D lineman in free agency after we did our takes, so that's added to the room. But I'm sure they can use one more because they lost Eric Armstead and Ken Law.
Yep.
So that's definitely something they can use. And you mean interior D lineman, right?
Yeah.
The edge. Okay. All right. And I do believe that to me, I think they need somebody to go opposite Trent Williams. I think they need a right tackle.
Okay.
To protect Brock Purdy. So I think that they need something like that to help this team, to get better protection. Or worst case scenario, somebody on the interior. They need a center, they need a guard, they need a lot. I don't believe that O-line is where it needs to be. I think they can improve there. So if they can get a tackle that's a stud, fine. If not, go interior O-line and help the guys interior line and protect Brock's life, protect his life in that particular realm. So
protect his life.
Yes. Yes. All right. So talk about the Seahawks. I think they need a quarterback personally, but I know you're more of a fan of Geno Smith than I am.
Well, they also got Howell now.
Okay.
They were big up on.
I still think they need a quarterback.
Listen, I'm not denying it, but listen, if you like her, then I can't say that. I can't say nothing to go against that. She ain't doing it for me. But if you like it,
okay,
kudos to you.
Well, I think they need a quarterback.
Yeah,
I think with Abraham Lucas and Charles Cross, they got tackles. They could use a center. I mean, I could argue that the kid from Oregon could be a good fit for them. The center from Oregon, that would be a good fit for them. But yeah, I think that whoever snapped the ball is the quarterback ain't right.
Right.
to me. But yeah, I can see them going either way, interior O-line or quarterback for my money.
Yeah,
I think we both agreement that the Cardinals need a wide receiver. Hoping that they take Malik Neighbors and not Marvin, but that's a dream from my home. That's personal, selfish take of my own. But yeah, they definitely need a wide receiver or two, to be honest, because their wide receiver room is bare. And your best wide receiver is Michael Wilson. That's saying a lot.
At the front door.
Yeah. So if wrap the NFC up, the Rams. I clearly see why you said D-line because Aaron Donald retired, and I'm not mad at that. I think they need a left tackle still.
Yeah.
But I think they're hosting one of the guys. I'm trying to remember. I saw a tweet earlier. They're hosting somebody here shortly. I might have been a corner too. A couple of guys that they could fill in that role, but yeah, if they didn't pull off any free agency moves in those spaces, I do believe that they could go either way in free agency. I mean, the draft and be happy.
Gotcha.
Be happy, but with such premium talent being in the tackle position, I feel like you got to take advantage of it. That's why I picked no tackle. If they can swindle, somebody, that's the kid from J.C. Latham from Alabama, hypothetically, swing him. Yeah, that'll be lovely for Matt Stafford in that passing offense. So yeah, something like that. But yeah, I do believe they got to fill that large gaping hole that Aaron Donald left.
Yes,
I do agree with that in his own space. So yeah, so that is the NFC. We got it through that. We're gonna do the AFC next week. Is in regards to who we feel like their needs are from the top to bottom. So we'll get through that.